So am I reading? Are we doing all four of these headlines? Or you gonna read? You gonna read two of them?
I can if you want me to.
Read the last two.
Okay, I'll be glad to.
On Wall Street today, the Dow was up 60 points, the Nasdaq rose 26 points. You're listening to.
No, you're not.
Not
You're listening to
anymore.
the Hey Techies Show!
Not anymore.
Blah, 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 blah. Hey, we close the door.
I should so turn this
Hey,
mic
we
on.
close that door.
I should so turn this mic on right now.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. It's still hard to believe that that's me. That does not sound like me.
What?
It doesn't sound like me.
Bless you.
Welcome into the Hey Techies Show. I haven't been here for 3 weeks, so I feel like I need to bring it in.
Where you been?
Out of that.
You've been tardy. Out.
Well,
Not tardy. I guess.
we were all absent last week.
Yes, we were.
The executive producer decided we couldn't have a show.
No, there was. We got preempted for
Yeah, they're
sports.
They're the executive producers.
Oh,
Sports calls the
I'm
shots
sorry.
around here.
I got that confused from the Grand Poobah of Hey Techies.
Oh,
The one and only Michael Sanders.
Whatever.
Yeah.
No, sports dictates everything around here.
Okay.
Don't you know that?
Okay. Well, actually, the truth of the matter is, we still probably could have went on, but Guru was tied up with something, and I was not feeling 100%. So we decided to not go on late after the game, depending on whether the game would finish up in time or not. We were totally unsure, so we just had to make a judgment call.
They make it
Isn't that-
deodorant for that.
Yeah, I know. Unsure. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. Raise your hand for sure.
Yeah, I raised my hand. I raised my hand that was sure I was unsure.
I was sure that I was. I
was really tired, actually.
I could have probably made it, but at the time I was in the middle of something.
And you were aggravated.
I said, listen. I said, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be honest with you. I'm feeling great either.
Yeah, well, anyway,
I'm not feeling great tonight.
I'm very sorry about
My
that.
friend is killing me.
Oh, no. Well, don't pass that around. Well, look, welcome to the Hey Techies Show. Yeah, I know. And, oh, he gets his candy out. Handing around.
Wait, you careful.
No, I'm good.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
This episode brought to you by Williams. It's like candy.
They're only paying Bruce. If they're paying
Not
anyone.
an official. Not an official.
In candy, apparently.
I bought those. So,
Sponsored by Guru.
no,
And Luden's. It's like candy.
no.
Oh,
Quick, Mike. Let's get this thing back on the rails for we.
there are no rails. This show started with no rails. It will finish with no rails. What are you talking about? That's the only way it works.
So yeah, I forgot about episode 1. We ran off there.
Right.
Like,
So-
5 minutes.
So don't forget HeyTechiesShow.com, and you can get all the information you need to know about the Hey Techies Show, ways to contact the show,
Yes.
and ways to see Guru, his lovely face,
They don't want to see me. They want to see you.
and Bruce,
That's why
please.
the camera's facing you.
And Bruce and myself. Bruce, so you're feeling a little under the weather, and there's no trash can over there still, Bruce. It's not changed.
Oh.
Man, I keep forgetting there's not trash can
Yeah,
there.
no, Guru, how
For
are you?
years,
How
I was
are
so-
you?
I'm doing.
I guess you got to bring your own trash can.
Well, cool.
This is a little static
The
here.
mic was a little way too hot. I've been trying to fix it. I think I'm good now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you, Grand Poobah Ted?
Yeah, okay. Alright. You can lose that title.
No,
Some days
I,
are
in
I love it. That's gonna be the new instead of Chief.
grand. It's such a joke. I mean, it's almost like a farce title. Grand Poobah.
Okay.
Well, let's see. That would be Flintstones, wouldn't it?
Sure. I guess.
Weren't they the Grand Poobahs?
I think you're correct.
Yeah, okay.
I heard somebody say it earlier. I was like, I like that. I'll make sure to use
Yeah.
that.
If you would like to not be on the show, then do not call this number, 256-782.
5600.
And if you do not call that number, you will not be on the Hey Techie Show. But in case you want to ignore what I'm saying and you would like to be on, please do call and we will do our best to get you in.
5600.
Yeah, at 256-782-5600, and we will do that. Or questions at heytechieshow.com. So now that we've got all the pleasantries out of the way, we'll get to the unpleasantry. No, I'm just joking.
Unpleasantry.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
I'm sure there'll be plenty of
Oh, I'm sure there will. We're already in the green room, son. I
Yeah.
imagine it will fall over here. But no, seriously, we do have some news, and we've got a few stories here just for our news, this news headlines. And some of these you will have to bear with us. We missed a week, so some of them we're still interested in from
They're
last
still
week.
headlines.
Correct. Amazon cancels HQ2 in New York after backlash. Now, second headquarters is what it's referring to. It says Amazon has canceled plans to build a second headquarters in New York City. The announcement comes after pushback from some residents and lawmakers. In a statement from Amazon, after much thought and deliberation, we've decided not to move forward with our plans to build a headquarters for Amazon in Long Island City, Queens. Amazon does not plan to search for another headquarter to location, but it will move forward with its existing plan to open campuses in Northern Virginia and Nashville. The second headquarter location in New York was expected to create 25,000 jobs.
So now they're just not going to have a second headquarters at all?
That's what I'm reading here.
Well, didn't they announce like they were splitting it between New York and like the DC area?
Yeah, I originally thought it was going to be in the
And
Virginia
Nashville's
area.
got some sort of thing coming with Amazon. That's why, but not just 25,000 jobs, but 25,000 well-paying jobs.
Well, yeah.
And that's been.
It was
probably
$150,000 a year plus.
I know people are probably tired of hearing it because it's been over the mainstream media the last week. I mean.
Well, anyway, newly signed funding bill gives NASA's budget a significant boost, according to a Verge article. NASA will receive a significant increase in funding for 2019 thanks to a new budget bill signed by President Trump late last week, which is probably the week before. The legislation, which funds the federal government through September 30, 2019, has $21.5 billion. Thank you, Guru. This is the increase over last year's $20.7 billion funding, and much more than the $19.9 billion requested by the agency. Nearly every major program within NASA will receive a funding boost. Boy, that would be weird. Two programs that President Trump did not want to fund are receiving funding. No, wait a minute. Now, I didn't write this, by the way. These include WFIRST, a new space-based telescope, and a mission to send a lander to Jupiter's icy moon, Europa.
Europa.
Hey,
Europa.
question. Now that you're saying, if I can interrupt, can I do that?
Sure. We've got two more headlines.
But you
Oh,
can
never
go
mind.
ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll remember.
Okay, so more recent headlines. Virgin Galactic, their space plane, the VSS Unity, had its first flight with a passenger last week. The passenger was Beth Moses, Virgin Galactic's chief astronaut instructor. Try to say that 5 times fast. The craft reached an altitude of 51.4 miles, or 82.7 kilometers. This was the 5th powered flight for the VSS Unity and her second trip to space, with the previous flight occurring in December. Moses is now the first female to fly to space on board a commercial vehicle. Some people will probably debate that, but some people say space is 100 kilometers, not 82.7, but that's beside the point here. Anyway, the other thing I've got here is SpaceX. They had another launch on Friday. Their primary payload was the Indonesian communications satellite Nusantara Sat-2, but there was also a secondary payload that kind of hitched a ride and has been still in the headlines. It was an Israeli spacecraft named Bereshit.
Be careful with that one.
Yeah, Bereshet, which
Yeah.
means in the beginning in Hebrew.
Yeah.
Bed sheet.
No,
I tried to practice that. I said,
No, you're good.
But it was this spacecraft is destined for the surface of the moon. It was built by an Israeli nonprofit corporation called Space IL, and that craft is the first Israeli spacecraft to venture beyond Earth orbit and the first privately funded moon mission. And for those wondering, SpaceX did successfully land this first stage on their drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You, in the Atlantic Ocean. 34th successful recovery of a Falcon 9 first stage. But that's everybody's dying to know that.
Yeah, the Hey Techies Tech headlines for this week.
I'm sorry.
It was fun.
I feel like I'm coming way too hot on this mic.
We'll turn it down over there a little bit.
I think I know how to operate this after 100 and some odd episodes.
I think we'll work on it
Yeah, we will.
in a minute. What were you going to ask, Bruce? You were going to ask something?
We were speaking earlier in the green room about how terrible some articles are written.
Yes.
You know, I guess they don't notate that things are written by AI.
Yeah, I have wondered that too, and I wonder how much is actually getting in. That is
I would like to know. Like this article is
written by AI. Yeah. Yeah, it would be.
This article brought to you by AI.
Yeah.
I would like to know that.
That's true. I think it would be. It actually would be good to know, and it has to be educational too, because then you could compare.
Agree. Yeah.
You could say, well, yeah, okay. I imagine some people might can spot it, but if they really,
Well, I don't know for what's going as journalism.
I know.
Some of this
Good
that
point.
Mikey tried to read off while I was editing it on the fly was some stuff. I
Yeah,
read
my
2 weeks ago.
my AI was changing while I was reading.
Yeah, I saw that. I was
Man.
trying to fix it too.
You had a perfect opportunity.
yeah. And Guru is the best
He'll
person.
He'll
No,
read anything
That's
on
right.
the
And Guru, that's right.
Yeah.
And Guru is the best
Hard
person
working
ever.
moment.
Yeah.
A little question mark at the end.
Yeah, that reminds me of that movie. That reminds me of a different movie, the one that Jim Carrey's in, where he plays God.
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, and he's typing he's acting like he's
Yeah,
yeah, he's doing the teleprompter, but he's actually that's pretty cool. Well, when the Hey Techie Show returns, we'll move on to some more of our tech stories, maybe take your phone calls, and we shall be right back.
Hey, you're gonna have to cut out like the first 5 minutes of that video.
What?
Still have my jacket on.
We're just getting started. So you are Hey Techie
Yeah,
Show
don't worry
for
about
your
it.
listening pleasure.
I can try. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I can try to do that.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard.
When she was outside, I was like, huh? Yeah. You can hear what I'm saying. I was listening.
That's for sure.
The mics are off too. So.
Oh! Whoa.
You're on the air.
I don't believe you.
You, San Francisco. What? What's everybody looking for?
All while serving in your own community. Log on to nationalguard.com or talk to a recruiter in your area to learn about
The Army did meet its recruiting goal the first time in forever.
Army National Guard, sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard, aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
375,000 acres that make up
Talladega National Forest.
Talladega National Forest were purchased by the federal government in 1936 as part of an effort to restore clear-cut timberlands and farmlands no longer capable of producing.
Your son's a better driver.
Wrong PSA.
Trail system at Alabama's highest and second highest points. And Younger Mountains.
When a child plays with blocks, the skills
I'm just gonna interrupt this commercial.
Scientist, contractor, and architect are developing. A child on the playground is practicing the skills of a future athlete. When a child creates art, the skills of a future illustrator, author, and artist are being discovered in first world-class pre-K classroom, children do all these things and discover a lifetime love of learning. For more information on pre-K, go to children.alabama.gov or just Google pre-K in Alabama. Sponsored by Alabama Department of Early Childhood Education, the Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
I'm gonna turn up the off off. I wanna come after.
Welcome back into the Hey Techies show. So glad to have you here on a Monday night. Hope everyone is doing well. And we had last left, we were discussing about AI and IA, if you, however you want to do it. Yeah. EIO, yeah. However you want to discuss
They
it.
should come up with a little like icon. This article was written with AI, like a little robot icon or something.
Sure. Yeah.
Little like emoji.
Right, like an emoji.
Yeah. Like the universal symbol of this is AI.
The universal symbol
Well, it's like on
of an
television.
emoji?
It's like on television back in the day, and I'm gonna date myself when I say this. When television shows first were closed caption, they had a little closed captioning symbol they came up with, and it was at the beginning of the show. Like, oh, this show's closed caption. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yes. Sure.
So no one agrees with me. Okay.
No, I don't disagree with you. What were you talking about?
AI.
Yeah.
Like a little icon.
Yeah, I agree with you. It needs to. I heard what you're talking about. Oh, it needs to have an icon. Absolutely.
I agree.
Yes. It's a
100%.
a really cool icon. Somebody developed.
That's something that's subtle.
Yeah. This was developed by
Yeah.
AI.
It's like a icon picture of like a rack of servers. I mean, that's AI. Like,
Yes.
what is that? Probably the non-tech person. What is that?
Are they gonna be like, who's this IO that writes everything?
Yeah. All right. So I was going to. I was going somewhere with this, but I thought I already had this open. I apologize. Let's see here.
Well, while you're looking for that,
Nah, go ahead.
Samsung has released a 1 terabyte micro SD card.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
something else.
Micro SD,
Micro SD.
1 terabyte.
Yep. And it will be available in April for $450.
Wow. Wonder how much you'd cry if you lost that thing.
That I would cry about. Probably. 32 gigs, even 128 gigs. Okay. I guess.
I wonder how much that would hold. Let's see.
A terabyte.
A
worth of
terabyte?
data.
No, but like so much length of.
Gary, you've been doing this for a while.
I know what a terabyte is.
I know what you're talking about. How many videos? How many pictures? I get it.
Let's see.
A lot.
Like a little GoPro, it takes some micro SD cards. There's a little
Yeah, but-
GoPro and variants.
but
a
You
little
could
action
store
cameras.
100 hours of 4K video.
Let's see. A 4K video of 10 minutes is approximately 5 to 10 gigs. So you can say a minute per gig, so 1,000 minutes.
What did I say?
You said like 100.
No, he said 100 hours of high data.
That's a
That's a
I mean, ultra 4K. Sorry.
so that's really it's like 16 hours roughly, give or take.
What?
You get about 16 hours of 4K video on a terabyte.
I thought you just said, I just thought, wait. Read
No,
what it
I read
said.
something says that 10 minutes of 4K video is
Oh,
probably
10
5
minutes.
to 10 gigs. So if you go on the high end and say 10 gigs for 10 minutes, that's a minute per gig.
Okay.
So do the math, and I'm not good at public math, but I can pull the calculator on my laptop real quick and estimate about 14, 16 hours, give or take. I mean, that's not converting exactly.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's using thousands
Yeah,
for,
so 1,000 that's 60.
yeah, something like that.
I don't believe you.
Well, you just go ahead and look that up.
Okay.
'Cause I don't believe you.
No.
Headline.
I was hoping I had that sound clip, but I don't.
Home assistants with moral AI could call police on owners.
Moral AI?
Yes. Now, I reluctantly bring this up, but only because of the different articles I have to pull it from. But it says here the Daily Mail reported that home assistants could soon report their owners to the police for breaking the law based on a moral AI system. Now, this is just an idea. It's just a academics in Europe are thinking of implementing this in some way. The newspaper reports that academics at the University of Bergen in Norway discussed the idea of moral AI for smart home assistants, like the Amazon Echo, Google Home, and Apple HomePod. And it was during a conference. Now, the question is, this is what gets me. The moral AI would reportedly make home assistants have to decide, and we're talking about AI, whether to report owners for breaking the law or whether to stay silent. Now, in the green room, Bruce, of course, brought up the obvious. Who would buy this? Who would really want this?
Yeah, and it's, you know, we kind of use as an example the, what is Nest? Home
Yes,
security
home
system.
security system.
And I think we talked about it on the show about them having a microphone.
Yes.
And we were also talking about how, you know, Google could get slapped with a search warrant where they can't tell the person, blah, 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 all that.
Right.
And it's just like, I don't think they really expect it to penetrate the market that much to, you know, not
Okay.
saying it couldn't happen,
Right.
but it's not just going to be used willy-nilly.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I don't care how you believe. This is a government's dream right here.
Oh, the moral AI?
Oh yeah,
For China?
any government.
I would say our government.
I don't know about
Maybe
that.
some in the government.
This would be a dream of some to be able to have something like this in people's homes. Now, some would argue that that's already happening on your phone or some other device
That's true.
that could listen. Now,
Yeah, but we're not talking about listen. We're talking about it. Oh, well, part of this is it recording.
part of this is listening.
Well, yeah, it's
I would
listening.
have to listen. Okay, so just that theory, I just read the headline, just about the basics of the article, what it's based on. But what I'm thinking though is, let's play this out. Let's say that we know how inaccurate sometimes listening devices are. Let's say it misheard something and interpreted
Yeah.
something you didn't really say.
Or does it understand sarcasm?
Or does it understand sarcasm? Very good point. And were to call the police, hey, so-and-so is said he's going to kill
Yeah.
so-and-so.
And I'm like, officer, I think you need to arrest that for false
Yeah, right. You need to arrest my device
Book
for
him, Dano.
false report.
Book him.
Look up.
Well,
Yeah.
obviously this is just a theory and idea. It's not
I don't think it'll
necessarily,
take off.
I don't think it'll take off either. But it's fun to talk about here on the show.
Sure it is.
But I really don't. And of course, they put in here that a report last year indicated the Amazon Echo devices can be hijacked. Well, I mean, you know, almost everything man-made with code, somebody can figure out some way to hijack.
a lot of things can be hijacked. The train can be hijacked.
That's true. Cars can be hijacked.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, so anyway. And we did have some breaking information, but the problem about this breaking information is
And see, that's where I was saying, maybe this is written by
yeah.
AI. Kind of.
I kind of hate to do this in a way, not that we're big media across the country by any laughable
Oh,
stretch of the
We're the
imagination.
biggest thing going in
Right,
tech news.
sure, right.
We are.
But here's the thing. I this is early. This is
Super.
This is super early. So, headline: SEC says Elon Musk violated his settlement with the agency and asked a judge to hold him in contempt of court. Now, what they apparently are referring to is a tweet, of course, that was sometime in February. And the tweet supposedly, and of course, this story does not have, I changed stories thinking this was going to be better, but I'm thinking I'm worse off.
Hey, where did you get this article by chance?
The first article I got was from CNBC. This one is from Business Insider.
Washington Post is
Are they?
reporting it too.
Oh, they are.
And they're asking for $1 a month because they've been reporting facts
For
for over 40 years.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
We don't have all of them, but we're reporting what the facts we do have.
Let's see. The SEC is alleging that Tesla CEO misled investors with a tweet last week about the company's expected vehicle production targets. What's more, the agency is charging that because Musk didn't get pre-approval of the tweet by Tesla, he's in violation of the terms of the settlement. Now, that could be true. We don't know that yet. He and the SEC reached last fall and asked a judge to hold him in contempt of the federal court that approved that settlement. Now, it says here Musk did not seek or receive a pre-approval prior to the publishing the tweet, which was inaccurate and disseminated to over 24 million people. The SEC said it in the filing. So that's their filing. It looks like it was filed in the district court for the Southern District of New York. Let's see, it says Musk has thus violated the court's final judgment by engaging in the very conduct that the pre-approval provision of the final judgment was designed to prevent. Let's see, it says here on Tuesday afternoon, I guess it was last week, Musk said that on Twitter that Tesla would produce 500,000 cars this year for a number that was far above its previous forecast, according to this. Saying that the company actual estimates will produce only 400,000 cars this year. But what we think we're looking at here is that he mistakenly didn't put in a caveat in this, I think. I think what he's referring to is that they will have that many made at the end of the year from when they started, is what I'm gathering that he's talking about. Or some point.
But I want to know, how is this any different than an earnings call?
Well, okay, fine. I'm not sure that I'm qualified enough
I know
to
I'm not.
answer that. However, I'll give a stab at what I think.
Okay. That's what we do here. We
Right, we stab it. I think an earnings call would be
That's what I was called.
the earnings call would be just for investors, and then later on, after everything was discussed and written out, then it would be reported out. This is just some one person, without it being looked at by everyone involved in releasing that kind of information, tweets out something that goes to lots of people. I don't think earnings calls are. I don't think. I could be wrong, but I think that they're mostly for the. Aren't they for the board members or the stockholders? And then would.
Well, why should they be privy to more information than the regular trader?
Well, like I said, I may be off base on that. I can't remember exactly how that works. I don't remember the exact.
Because if they said something in earning call that was.
But eventually that
would be insider trading.
Well, no, that all is made public. I think that is made public. I mean, I don't think it's very long. I might have that part wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'll say this: it's not disseminated in the same way a tweet would be. And I think the stuff in earnings calls has been vetted extensively by people who know what you're supposed to do in an earnings call.
Sure, but there's a lot of CEOs that just talk off the cuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's now this is just
Oopsie.
this is just me guessing. I admit.
Can be insider trading if everybody's insider.
I don't
That's
think
outsider trading.
I don't think this is a thing.
I can see it
insider
being.
trade.
I can see how they say it's market manipulation.
It could be.
If
Well,
he,
I
if he
actually-
knows, he knows
okay.
that we have no way of
So,
producing that.
That's interesting theory too. So that's it. But
Yeah.
there is reverse of that too. Okay.
Take me through the reverse.
What if just
He's
theory?
lowballing it.
Hold on, no, not him.
Yeah.
Somebody I almost somebody involved or connected to the SEC that's just waiting on something to be tweeted out, or waiting to just jump and say, "Oh, you violated," because this has sent their stock down. I
Oh,
can
yeah,
see the
yeah.
reverse of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe that person was
I-
bought out by the big auto.
Sure, you don't know. Yeah, I'm sure.
The Fords,
Yeah, I'm down. Wait a minute.
the windshield
I'm-
wiper stealers,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
the variable.
Oh,
variable
goodness.
windshield wiper.
I don't know. I'm just theorizing here. So
Are the Volkswagens with their
yeah.
They're rigged exhaust systems.
rigged? Well, rigged. Yeah, rigged. Dirty business.
It's almost like fake.
Motto.
It's almost like fake news.
Please don't. Please don't.
He's got to push it.
Yeah.
I don't need to listen to.
I'm trying to cover it up. Let's see.
I've got the controls over here. I can.
No, I know that. I knew that. You've told us many times and proven it over and over again. So
Yes.
I mean, I don't think there's no guessing to that game.
Feel like this.
I wasn't going to bring it up because I knew if I did, he was going to play it. So,
You're welcome, Michael.
speaking
You're
of
welcome.
Kevin Green, we were
Oh.
talking about
Go on, Green.
I'm sorry, Michael. So we were talking about Twitter and its effects social media is having. So let's talk about Facebook for a minute.
Let's.
How much longer do you think they're going to be around?
Well, I think that the question might be better is will they be around in the same shape and form that they are in now? I don't know. That is a great question, I guess, either way. But I think that there will be a Facebook in some shape or form. I don't see them going anywhere right now. They still have a good many users, and even
Yeah,
even
but is some of that because they are misrepresenting him?
well, so does Twitter. You don't see it going
Sure.
anywhere. I think Twitter's numbers are way overinflated. I don't believe it at all.
It's interesting to note that Facebook stock as of close of business today, $164 a share.
Yeah, up $2.73, but down from just a couple months ago.
Sure, and
I mean, in the high back on like July 16th was like 209 a share. You know, but I mean, it follows the market a little bit to a certain degree. But I think as long as investors are willing to pay that price for a share in the company, I mean, it's going to continue to go. But things like what y'all said about, you know, they overinflated the number of users. Do they?
I'm just saying,
I mean,
how many more times is it going to take?
They're supported by ads.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their
In other
sole.
things.
I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah.
and other things.
and other
I mean-
ads and more ads.
Yeah. But well, I think that though I think they get some kind of compensation from those companies that run those games.
From
You know,
data, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some, but I think
They gotta have
lion's share of their income revenue is advertising.
well, yeah, but so is Google's.
And well, yeah, but if you try to do things,
Microsoft's
to-
going to be that way soon.
I'm not saying they're doing what they're doing with users or whatever, but if what they're putting on to advertisers is different than reality, then that can have a significant impact on the advertising.
But all these apps that share data with Facebook before are quickly turning that off.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for them in the future? They had all this data coming in through all these sources. Your sources are depleting, and that's kind of your resource that you're selling, right?
Are you talking about like what's come out within the past week about certain apps
Yeah.
are using platforms that share data with Facebook because they've
Well, now
adopted some platform for like analytics. Or,
Yeah. Now they're taking all that there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
because
I mean, it's
people
expected.
are, it's kind of, they're taking full circle on this project, like, well, I don't want my stuff on Facebook.
I'm kind of curious.
But at the same time, with Google, we are the product.
What's the other thing that
MySpace?
Facebook owns? No.
Oh,
That everybody else uses.
Instagram?
I
Yeah.
don't use Instagram.
It's like, I don't want it on Facebook. I'll just use Instagram.
Facebook's got it.
Yeah.
Just different sites.
well, it depends on if you use the same information on Instagram.
Hey, pictures worth 1,000 words.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
I do have an
Do they have
Instagram.
ads on?
I didn't
do they have
tie my-
ads on Instagram?
Yes,
I have no idea.
absolutely.
They do. Okay, I don't use it. I don't know.
They have promoted posts basically.
Oh, so they're paying for that. It's like on
Oh, yeah.
Facebook, you can promote.
Oh, so kind of like
posts.
Reddit.
Yeah. Do you?
Of course, they say it's promoted. It's an advertisement. It's not really a post. They try to make it look like a post.
Yeah, no, I wondered about that. Now,
Hey,
well,
come
that
by
brings
this.
up a whole nother discussion. Reddit is, to me, has always seemed like it's the wild, wild west of the internet in a way. In the way that people on there look at it, like it's the pure form of the internet. It's just people posting things and
Oh,
some
yeah.
people liking it up and down. But how do those people react to realizing that their platform is going to have to make some kind of profit to keep going, or somebody's going to pony up some money? I mean, how
Well, so they actually sell, gold, and I think they're even selling silver and guilds now, or
But-
platinum.
But you were saying there's some promoted
Oh yeah. Like, let me see.
posts. Well, I mean, you don't have to.
There's none right now.
But I think that, of course.
which is weird because on mobile, I'm sure like.
Well, I guess the point. Look, Facebook is a social media
See, like right there.
phenomenon.
The third post says
Yeah, I
promoted.
see that.
And it says software engineers 2018 is calling kick off the year with a bang and take control of your job
Okay,
search.
all right.
Join hire today.
Okay.
You're telling me to-
So anyway, what I'm getting at, I think I'm getting at, is that Facebook is a phenomenon that started way back when, and it was a social media hit from the get go, whether you like it or not.
It was one of the early adopters of that platform. I mean,
Well, now you had MySpace, but a lot of people, I think, at the time viewed MySpace as more as an artistic platform,
well, yeah,
music, that kind of thing. I'm not saying it was.
but it was kind of the first contemporary modern.
Yeah, but I don't.
social media.
I really don't think it took social media.
It's what it took off.
Right or wrong, whether you like it evil or good, is what I'm not really. I'm discussing. I'm discussing just the advent of Facebook was clearly a social media genius.
Yeah.
You may not agree that that's a good thing. That's fine. That's another discussion. But now I do understand what Bruce is saying. At some point, when do they not have enough to keep going? But now you got to ask this about Twitter. Twitter technically doesn't turn a profit. I mean, I don't think they've had a profit. I don't think they've ever shown where they could really turn a profit. They do have ads, but they lost revenue from time to time. I understand.
Well, people are invested in it. So as long as, like I said, as long as people are invested in the company, no matter what.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, but I mean, there's still.
Well,
As long as we got money coming in, we're not losing.
Well, I don't
well,
understand.
at some point, the investors will get restless and then they'll leave.
But
I mean, they, it's the company's got to figure out how to make money. I mean, because it's the only way you're going to really
Yeah.
drive value, especially when you're publicly traded. You've got to show that. And
well, the question definitely is how much damage can Facebook contain in its image or what have you, and still continue to be Facebook? I mean, that's a valid question.
yeah, they need to be their own. They need to be careful because there's been too much in the last 2 years.
Well,
18 to 24 months has come out about Facebook allegedly doing this, allegedly doing that, so on and so forth.
yeah.
You know, and whether it's true or not, it puts a perception on users of the product. It's just like if a restaurant, you know, gets some bad reviews or a bad score on like a inspection or health inspection or something, people are going to people are going to be kind of less afraid to patronize that business.
Sure.
And same with Facebook. And I mean, if you just leave the platform, then the advertiser will leave in time, and then it's just.
Well, yeah, and there's no question about that. But then you have that side argument: is how do you really prove? Because I mean, at one time, Facebook claimed over a billion users
I mean,
worldwide.
they're the ones that
A billion.
They're the ones that truly know. It's not.
I don't even think they know.
It's how they measure it. It's
Well, yeah, right. It's how they measure it.
it's like a company. How many?
If they
How
were to
many?
measure true users,
But any,
Yeah, I know
any company, like you have a company customers, you go in a store, think of like a retail store. How many customers do you have? Well, how do I count that?
see, I think for them
Yeah.
it would be better to say we have this many data points. Of course, that would scare people because they're like, oh my God, they have trillions of data points.
You've got to make it to where the person making the decision not to invest, or the average Joe, can understand. You start saying, "Hey, what's that?" You know.
Well, I think the average person that would invest in Facebook would
I don't know. Maybe. I think the number of people using the product is a good measure, especially for those that are trying to
And I'm
purchase
probably-
advertising on
I'm
the platform.
probably
They're trying to figure out
investor.
how many eyes are going to see my product or service
I'm
on
probably
advertising.
an investor in many products that I use.
Probably so.
Well, yeah, if you
Or don't support.
Well, I mean, you have money invested in
Could be.
mutual funds and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not directly. There's a manager, a fund manager.
Well, we went long, so the next segment will be a little bit shorter, but the Hey Techies Show will revamp, re-cue, and come up with new information to talk about, I guess. Stories, you name it. Hey Techies Show, be right back.
I just don't see Facebook being around much
Don't
longer.
go anywhere. There's
And you could be very right.
I would say within the next 10 years, they will be almost completely.
I don't
Really?
think they'll be here in 1 billion years.
I don't think much of anything will be here.
No,
That's fair. That's a fair assessment.
You got the Federation book, the official social media side of the United Federation of Planets. The Federation run everything.
Is located in north central Alabama in Chehalis State Park, surrounded by the towers.
Check the
They won't be part of my reality.
Check in USS
Yeah, I know.
Enterprise
This
J.
dramatic landscape gets its name
I hear you.
Got my new assignment today. I'm working with Jordy LaForge the fifth. Chief
Talking
engineer.
about a terabyte, 1 terabyte card. What was it? Micro.
Micro's good.
Paint and clay, the skills of a future
Micro,
illustrator, author,
I don't think there's. I'm afraid I'm gonna lose
author,
like micro SD cards are small.
developing the skills of a future
I have lost one.
Those are
I
$400.
don't think I've ever lost one, to be honest.
I'd be nervous about losing them. I got a little case.
I've probably thrown some away. Like,
You
they were
just have to realize.
like,
You just have to realize you lost it.
they were like 16 gigs or something. I was like, I don't need this anymore.
If you look around the 16 gig micro SD, I'll take it.
I will say I've got a spot in here in my wallet. So, yeah, back here.
Yeah.
I keep a SIM card or an SD card.
Okay.
And in the meantime, they discover
Never
a
used
lifetime
it.
love of learning. For more information, go to children.alabama.gov.
This is a great wallet.
Sponsored
The
by the
best.
Alabama Department
Huh?
of Early
The
Childhood
best wallet.
Education,
Probably.
the Alabama
Fantastic.
Broadcasters
Only the
Association,
best.
and this station. This is an
So,
Alabama legacy moment.
In the late 1960s,
Your son was a bear driver.
was hunting for a location for a new racetrack that would
Well, thank you for giving me your autograph.
Daytona.
At Lowe's
and Every
Eventually, he
settled on an abandoned airfield near
Well, this one,
Talladega,
no,
Alabama.
I'm great.
Started
Talladega,
on
Alabama.
23rd, 1960.
Hallelujah.
Hello, I'm
Stay
Bob
away from
Dallas,
helicopters.
NASCAR 1983 Cup champion and four-time
That's
winner
how-
here at
that's how
Talladega
it's Sunday.
Super Speedway as of
Now it's Sunday.
1989. With 33
You're right.
right
The morning
turns
you'll
and
take for it,
2.66 miles of asphalt, it's the fastest racetrack in the
They're
nation.
putting in like a new tunnel underneath the
NASCAR speed
Talladega Super
Yeah,
Speedway.
they are.
Do what
They're
now?
putting a tunnel.
New tunnel to get to the infield.
Yeah.
I hate that they closed the backstretch down. That was the best place.
Yeah,
Especially after they
I knew
rebuilt
somebody
it.
like sitting back there on the back straightaway.
That's where I like to sit up under,
Sponsored by
out of the sun.
You're listening to the Hey Techies.
Wow.
Mark, you know,
What, Martin?
yeah.
Is he still around? He'll drive.
I didn't like Jeff Gordon. Did you like Jeff Gordon?
He's a jerk.
Boyd.
He came across as
Oh
a
God,
jerk.
that dude cheats. He would wreck somebody just to wreck them.
When he came across as a jerk, his persona,
When?
all the time.
Probably since birth.
Yeah, we're just different.
I don't like Jeff
We're
Gordon.
I'm glad.
I saw
I feel
him.
better
I
about
saw
myself.
him. I saw him wreck too many people just on
Okay.
purpose. He can't keep it between the lines.
Yes, please.
Terrible driver. I would have taken him out just to save everybody else. First lap, I just said, "We're out, Jeff." He kept you out of the balls. Woo! Kyle Petty now, he's good. Mellow yellow. Mellow yellow. Mellow. Mellow yellow.
What?
Mellow yellow.
Mellow yellow.
Yeah, he drove the mellow yellow car.
Who did?
Who was the last person I said before we went?
Kyle Petty? Yeah.
I didn't.
I thought you were talking
I
about
didn't-
the song Sugar.
I didn't
It's got a-
actually hear that
Mellow
part. I
yellow
was
got a lot of
listening
sugar
to
in
the
it,
music.
You stopped listening to me.
I stopped listening.
I said I do like Jeff.
Tuned you
Jeff
out.
Gordon was terrible, and you're like, I'm done.
I got nothing to gain or lose by this.
Well, how about this? Let's move the song back in.
Please,
Okay.
The tag.
by all means.
We talked about this, I guess 2 weeks ago when Bruce wasn't here about
Sure.
Google and Facebook were using Apple's enterprise
Yes.
developer
Oh,
program.
no, we talked about that when I was here. That was
Okay.
that was, yeah.
Okay, well here's an update. So since that came out, there's been some reports of Apple's misuse of Apple's developer program certificates.
By others?
It's a new report from Reuters outlining how software pirates have been using the program to distribute hacked versions of popular apps like Minecraft, Pokemon Go, Spotify, Angry Birds, and more. Again, this is hackers. This is not.
What's a hacked version of Spotify?
Well, hang on, let me finish. The software pirates.
Please tell me more.
Okay, so here's a quote here from that Reuters report. Using so-called enterprise developer certificates, these pirate operations are providing modified versions of popular apps to consumers, enabling them to stream music without ads and to circumvent fees and rules in the game, depriving Apple and legitimate app makers of revenue. Software pirates in turn make money by charging some users an annual subscription fees for VIP versions of their hacked apps that are, quote, more stable than the free versions, end quote. So, so after being alerted by Reuters to these developer accounts being used to distribute hacked apps, Apple removed a number of them, revoked certificates and whatnot, and more have since sprung up to take their place. And what Apple did, this article came out on the 13th, so it's a week or so old, but Apple announced on the 27th, end of last week, or, oh no, that was actually February 27th. Oh, no, excuse me. As of February 27th, that's the future.
This one is definitely written by
It's definitely
Apple announced that as of February 27th, all developer accounts will require two-factor authentication to be turned on. A move that will help secure these accounts and limit their ability to be traded off or sold amongst those seeking to skirt Apple's rules.
Didn't somebody already try to take? It was either Apple or Google or somebody to court for forcing two-factor.
I don't know.
I want to say it was in maybe New York. I'm gonna have to look
What?
this up.
That's crazy. Though.
Yeah, I didn't bring that
mean,
story up weeks,
Shocking.
months ago. Even.
I mean, what would you not want for two-factor?
I should have a choice. No,
Oh.
you should absolutely choose two-factor.
Exactly.
Let me look that up.
You have one choice. Use two-factor.
Hmm.
That's the way it should be. Anyway, so that I thought that was quite interesting that hackers.
AT&T gets sued
hackers-
for two-factors. Oh, that's a
Oh,
security flaw. Hold on.
And this, I got this one too. So we're talking about Apple stuff. This one, I actually mentioned this on the show like several weeks ago when I took a iPhone to get the battery replaced, and how I remember how the Apple genius tried to sell us a new phone. They said, "We'll
Yes.
trade in. You get so much towards it. Purchase a new phone." And I was like, "No, I'm not interested. Just fix my phone." So this came out earlier this month, but you know, Apple's had the low earnings guidance and all that, and so. You know, Apple's been heavily promoting the iPhone XR, XS trade-ins. You know, they've been doing a big marketing push for that. Well, Bloomberg's Mike Gurman previously reported that Apple, you know, reassigned some of its marketing staff to focus on the sale, on bolstering sales and that. But here's a report a few weeks ago from Deidre O'Brien succeeding Angela. Oh, that's something else. I'm sorry, I thought that was a part of this. I don't want to restart right now.
AI wrote.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, there's a Gurman has a report here that was claiming some more sales tactics by Apple that advises technicians to push iPhone upgrades to consumers with out-of-warranty devices,
Okay.
which goes along with what I experienced firsthand. We was ahead of the news. You heard it here first on Hey Tech.
Yeah, that's true.
This article came out after
That's
I
right.
had my experience. And like I said on the show, I've never had an Apple like repair person or the genius person ever try to get me to buy something. You know, they're like, okay, to fix your phone, it's going to be this, or to fix this, it's going to be this. Or,
Yeah.
oh, your device under warranty, we'll fix it. Of course, mine was not under warranty, but they're like, you buy a new phone, we'll give you $200 off the purchase, and you're still going to pay $600. No, I want a $49 iPhone battery, please. Can I pay $49 or $400? Let me think about that. I think I'll take the $49.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting a new battery.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah, but it just kind of floored me for Apple. I would never expect that of Apple. But apparently that's not an isolated thing that I experienced. That this is apparently something that is being pushed down from the top, at least from the people over the sales saying, "Hey, y'all got to do this." I mean, I don't blame the person I talked to at the Apple Store. They're just doing what they're told. But it just kind of took me off guard. And I did tell that person at the Apple Store, you can tell Tim Cook lower the price of the phone that costs a little too much. I did say that to him. I did.
That's right.
And what did they say?
She laughed.
Well, of course. What
But
else
she
you got
knows
to
it.
say?
Well, it's $1,000 phone. I mean, hello.
Yeah, that's usually what you say when you pick up the phone.
What, $1,000 phone?
Hello.
Well, hello, it's $1,000 phone.
Maybe I just dreamed that headline.
You did. You dreamed it. That's not abnormal.
I will say today I was doing
We have
something at work.
a rumor segment
Yeah.
for that.
No, that's a dream segment.
Yeah, we
It's not
did
good.
have a dream
You got to have a
segment.
dream segment.
Well, we get after rumors.
Yeah.
Because apparently this,
Like far-fetched rumors.
so far this week I'm just living in a dream.
He's dreaming it. He's living the dream.
Or living the dream.
There
we
Yeah,
go.
that's really what it is. Because I asked a person today, so when I was doing work, I was like, "We've already done this." And they said, "No, we've never done this." I said, "Are you sure?" Because I felt like I've done this. Like,
In a previous life.
and well, I've done this. He's like, "Nope, sure, you've never done this." I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Did you do this first?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I did that first." So what I did last time, he said, "You didn't do that last time." I'm going crazy.
Well, I've had those moments too.
Sleep does fine. good.
It actually does.
That's probably what I need.
Well, I think you need to go to sleep. Take it out.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just listen to this
Okay.
You don't have to go to sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Now, I have a blip of an article here that I was going to get in. Did you see OnePlus? This is a headline. OnePlus, I guess the phone,
Yeah.
will integrate Google Duo into Oxygen OS Dialer, contacts, and messaging apps.
Ooh. I have no idea what that is.
It's like Duo.
It's all that Android stuff. What, Duo like two-factor Duo?
No. Duo, like their messaging system. They have a video. I'm sorry, Duo was the video calling platform. I apologize. There was another one.
That's
What's
much
the other
Android
one?
stuff I don't care about. Go ahead.
You're thinking of Allo?
Allo, that was it. Now,
But they've done away with Allo.
yeah, that's
They're
true.
doing away with Hangouts.
They
It's
did.
technically already done away with.
Right.
If you're still on 5.
Right, exactly right. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Does this get back? And we've only got a minute. But does this get back to saying, well, you've got a Google built-in app on your OS, and it's going to be built in, and a person who buys your phone can't opt out for.
Well, I think there's some legislation that they're trying to make Google do that.
Yeah, but this is a company wanting to do it. This is not. It's not Google doing it. This is OnePlus is wanting to integrate that product.
Oh, well, then it'll be integrated. They're free to do that.
But what's the difference? I mean, I don't understand.
Oh, integrate something that's already there? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean,
I think they're want to make it the defaults instead of designing their own thing.
yeah, correct.
Tightly integrated.
Tightly integrated.
No, I'm not saying I don't understand that. I'm saying
What do you don't? What do you know?
what I don't understand is
He
why
don't
is
know-
that?
He don't understand what he don't understand.
No, yeah. Why isn't that infringement? Not infringement. Why is that? Oh shoot, I've lost the word. Oh, monopoly. Why isn't that a monopoly? I mean,
Well, I guess because they're choosing it.
so a person, if they buy that phone, is going to have to use that as default. I mean, it's built in,
Or they
integrated.
could download something different.
But they could do that before.
Absolutely.
Hey, Techies Show.
Our dose. Stop, dang it.
Our dose.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, you did perfect.
I like to cut you off like mid.
No, that was good.
No, I get where you're going with that. Like, somebody's going to complain, right?
Huh?
Somebody's going to complain. It's probably going to matter for me by the end of the year.
What?
Negotiations with the Obama
Question.
administration. NPR's Michelle.
What?
Just making sure that was off because I coughed and it seemed like
It's off.
it is. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
It's not going to matter for me by the year anyway. I'll be off of probably Google Phone by the end of the year.
Oh, well, I'm not.
I really
I'm not have a
think-
OnePlus.
You're going to have one
I'm
plus?
not.
You should get you an iPhone that way you can undo yourself completely.
Do what?
I ain't probably getting an iPhone.
Welcome to the.
I'm not getting
Welcome to
enough.
the better
I'm
side
not
of
getting enough.
smartphones.
I wouldn't say the better side.
Better.
Side.
I'm not getting an iPhone.
Maybe the safe.
Well, that's better.
Less.
I didn't say best. I said better. I didn't say Windows
Me
phone.
being less.
We get Nam for a meeting. North Korea. Trump was traveling by
I mean-
Trump said that he heading to the meeting aboard an.
Hey, I want to check my pie hole.
While officials are getting
Your what?
finishing touches
I got a
on
pie hole
the
running
summit
at
meeting
home.
involving the
Pie
two
hole.
leaders. Vietnamese
There's
officials
what
say
it is.
only they haven't.
It
they
takes
only had about 10 days.
all your advertisements.
So they will
Yeah.
provide adequate support.
Well, not all of them. You know, certain ones.
It's like Smear Network for ads.
No. So I set that machine as my DNS.
Oh, okay.
And it just like dumps it. If it's part of it. Now, I mean, you know, there's some advertisements that are allowed through.
But the ones that are like blatantly ads, it's kind of like, with it just like,
You know, like ads, like not that I have them on.
but basically it says like when it hits the DNS, I don't know what that is.
No, it doesn't say I know. It says I know what that is, and it's not. You know, because a lot of
How does
ads,
it-
a
how
lot
does
of
it-
ads are viruses, right?
Well, it just like it's like says sorry you're not getting to it.
It just sends it to a black hole.
Sends it to space.
Yeah, it was Elon Musk is taking it in his Falcon 9.
That's
He
right.
says it's an open secret that some international students enroll in quasi-legal universities to obtain visas.
Quasi-legal.
Federal authorities say the sting will deter future violations. For NPR News, I'm Elizabeth Troval in
Sheets.
Houston.
Very
General
sheets.
Electric continues to
16%
shut businesses' latest
of my traffic is
file
blocked.
on records.
How much?
Company
16%.
selling the Danaher
Ooh.
Corporation for
What?
$1.4 billion.
All those YouTube videos.
Part of the company's life
I don't know what it
sciences
is.
division.
It's not YouTube videos?
About $3
Like
billion
the pre-roll?
last year.
It's
Probably not.
yeah, good. Let's see, device-metrics-us.amazon.com,
The NASDAQ.
Oh, Amazon.
mobile.pipe.aria.microsoft.com, ads.nexage, e.crashlytics.com.
Oh.
This is happy.
Welcome into our
Dose.
of the Hey Techies Show. It is the second best hour of the Hey Techies Show.
I think it's the first best hour. First hour is the best hour. I don't know what to say.
No, there's a card game, Dose card game. You know, like
Oh,
Uno,
yeah.
Yes.
and the thing says the second best card game or something like that.
The second best Uno game.
No, it's the second best card game. What did I text it to you? I gotta go find it.
Yeah, I just saw it said Dose. I was like, that's like chuckling. It's okay.
What did it say?
Well, Michael looks that up.
Yeah, it says. Yeah, I said the second best hour of the Hey Techies Show.
Or did you?
It says the world's #2 card game. That's what it is.
Uno.
And it has an asterisk. Yeah, Uno's #1. It has an asterisk, unverified statistics. So that's how they get away with it.
Yeah. This is the best thing ever.
#2 card game.
Maybe.
Dose. Yeah. Anyway, it's just a joke. Just a joke, folks. Come on. Get your wrist.
Well, was it a real game?
Yes, it's a real game.
How did you play it?
I don't know.
You didn't buy it.
No, I have a picture. Somebody else sent me the picture.
It's $4.97 at Walmart.
Yeah. Walmart actually has a good deal on those Uno cards.
Is pickup available in Jacksonville yet?
It is coming, I think, the 23rd of March is what I read somewhere.
It's way too long. Which
That's a couple weeks away.
let's talk about it, because I mean this is kind of the way society's going. It's still with technology. And checking out your own groceries. Have you been into the Jacksonville Walmart?
You know, they have like 4 regular checkouts now. Everything else is self-service.
Everything is also yeah, and I don't know how I feel about that.
We talked about that on the show. I don't know how
Let's talk
many
about it last week or week before me.
Yeah, but we had talked
I
about
do like grocery pickup though.
I do. I'm sure I like that, but I don't know how I feel about.
I
self
saw a
checkout.
meme. I think I repeated it before.
Oh, wait on your W-2 from
Yeah, the
Walmart.
guy's waiting on his W-2 from Walmart. He's checked out his groceries all year long.
Yeah. When you get that W-2, let me know, because I want to know what the check is associated with W-2.
Yeah.
That check got lost in the mail from me.
Well, if I start to see prices significantly decrease,
Those Uno cards are less.
do what?
Those Uno cards are less than Amazon.
Are they?
Oh yeah, about $4 on average.
Oh, they're $8 on Amazon.
Yes, I saw some.
No.
Yes, yes, I did. Go look up Uno cards.
But speaking of Walmart, we've got a story about Walmart that came out
Yes.
today. We'll talk about
Right.
a little bit after. Well, it came out like 2 days ago. Days close enough.
Pretty sure I saw.
Original Uno is $10.
There you go. If you go to that, my friend took that picture. It's $4 and something.
Well, those is the second best. That's why it's
No,
the
those
second
cards.
best
The
price.
Uno cards were less than that.
I'm looking this up. Walmart Uno.
Well, let's do headline ball.
Okay, Bruce is like, newly signed funding bill gives NASA's budget a significant boost. NASA will receive a significant increase in funding for 2019 thanks to a budget bill signed by President Donald Trump late last week. The legislation, which funds the federal government through September 30th, 2019, gives NASA $21.5 billion. This is an increase over last year's $20.7 billion funding and much, much more than the $19.9 billion requested by the agency. Nearly every major program with NASA will receive funding boost. However, 2 programs that President Trump did not want to fund are receiving funding. These include WFIRST, a new space-based telescope, and a mission to send a lander to Jupiter's city ice moon.
Jupiter City?
I'm sorry. Jupiter's icy moon, Europa.
So where's Jupiter City?
Yeah, I don't know. Amazon cancels headquarter 2 in New York after backslash. Good
Backslash.
grief.
Kinda.
Backslash.
Yeah.
Backslash.
Amazon
There's backslash.
has canceled plans to build a second headquarters in New York City. This announcement comes after pushback from some residents and lawmakers. In a statement from Amazon, after much thought and deliberation, we decided not to move forward with our plans to build a headquarters for Amazon in Long Island City, Queens. Amazon does not plan to search for another second headquarters location, but will move forward with its existing plan to open campuses in Northern Virginia and Nashville. The would you quit interrupting me? HQ2 location in New York was expected to create 25,000 jobs.
I had no idea that Amazon was a window shop with all those backslashes.
Yeah, I know.
That's a geek joke, sorry. So SpaceX on Friday launched a second Falcon 9.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. On Friday, SpaceX launched its second Falcon 9 mission of the year. Its primary payload was the Indonesian communications satellite Nusantara Sat-2. However, a secondary payload hitched a ride. This was an Israeli spacecraft named Bereshit, meaning in the beginning in Hebrew, that is destined for the surface of the moon. This spacecraft was built by the Israeli nonprofit corporation SpaceIL. It will be the first Israeli spacecraft to venture beyond Earth orbit and the first privately funded moon mission. I know, Michael, you've been wondering about this, about the first stage of the Falcon 9. It successfully landed on the drone ship.
Yes, I have been on bated breath.
34th successful recovery of a Falcon 9 first stage.
Awesome.
And finally, you hadn't heard about this in a while, Virgin Galactic. Its space plane, the VSS Unity, had its first flight with a passenger last week. The passenger was Beth Moses, Virgin Galactic's chief astronaut instructor. The craft reached an altitude of 51.4 miles, that's 82.7 kilometers, Michael and Bruce.
Yes.
And it was the fifth powered flight of the VSS Unity and her second trip to space, with the previous space flight occurring in December. Now, Moses is now the first female to fly on board a commercial vehicle to space. How about that?
So I guess I have to ask the obvious question.
Yeah.
Nobody else needs to answer.
What?
Can a Virgin Galactic spacecraft go to space more than one time, or does it disqualify?
That's the brand of it.
That's
Richard
I
Branson.
mean, I'm just curious. How does that work exactly?
Why don't you ask Richard Branson about it?
I don't know. And
Wait. Let me see your picture real quick one more time.
will the Patriots owner ride on one? Is what I want to know.
I don't know, but I saw the Atlanta Falcons owner bought this $300 million, or probably not 300, they're $120 something million yacht. You can probably buy a ride to space a couple times for the price of that. Anyway.
Wow.
What are you
So
doing?
okay. So we were
What
talking
are
about.
y'all over there doing, distracting?
Well,
me?
we were talking
distracting
about price.
you.
I'm trying to read the news.
Oh,
here.
you've never distracted anyone.
We were talking.
Of course not.
Oh no! I'm going green 1,000 times in a row, and don't do it again. Golly!
So we were talking
Hilarious.
about Uno.
Yes,
Those.
correct. We were.
And the price difference between Amazon and Walmart. And I was saying it was like $10
Amazon.
on Amazon. And I pulled it up on Walmart. Well, I Google searched Walmart. Pulled it up through Walmart. It's $688.
Okay.
But the picture he has it at $544.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But I want to show you something. You see, $544.
Let me see
Correct.
it.
I don't.
This is $544.
Yes. On aisle
Don't touch it.
I-5.
I'm sure that's 15.
Sounds like letter number.
It went to sleep, but yeah, I did see.
Hold on,
I
my
saw.
watch. I'm gonna click it.
Yeah,
644. 688. How many this is this? So here's the thing.
And this is the reason why I took a screenshot today before I walked into Target.
It's six something through Walmart.com, but if you order it through the store, it's cheaper.
Yeah, but what
I've
I'm
seen that a lot. I've
saying,
seen that a lot on Walmart.com. You have to watch that.
yeah, that's nuts.
It is nuts. I agree.
That's like I want to add it to cart to pick up today.
It'll be the $6 price.
It'll be $6.88.
I don't know. Try it. I mean, don't check out.
Sure,
But like this,
add to cart.
let's see. I'm wondering if that just happened to me the other week.
See, this is what we've got to do for people.
This is going to be a perfect segue to this next article. Just so you know. But go ahead. We're all waiting with bated breath.
Pick up today, $6.88.
Come on now, Walmart.
Shipping is $5.99.
what?
So it's 13.
What is? No, it is not. No, it is not.
If
You
had
can
shipped
go
to
over
your
to the.
house.
You can go to the store and get it for $5.
It says pick up today.
$6.88.
That's ridiculous.
Walmart now. Okay. Let me get back onto this. So
Let me add some more into my cart just to make sure I have.
while he's doing that,
This is stupid.
This is the stuff we talk about on Hey Techies. If you're just joining
I'll add
us,
Monopoly.
Wait,
It's
wait.
25
if you were to
bucks.
join us in the green room before the show, this is like we come in here and it's a continuation of what's
correct,
out there.
absolutely. That's what's so great about the show.
We just try to keep it a little
You just never
structured.
know.
We have to make sure to take NPR at the right time.
Right.
You know, so,
That's pretty much our structure.
yeah.
Anyway, you were going to say, Guru.
So Walmart. This is headline from CNBC today. Somebody actually shared this today. I think it came out a couple days ago. But anyway, headline: Walmart is quietly outperforming Amazon this year. So it may seem that Amazon is unstoppable when it comes to e-commerce. Most people you ask would probably say that, but another retailer is hot on its tail. Walmart. Shares of the retail giant, say that 3 times fast, gained as much as 4% last Tuesday after the company topped street estimates for earnings and revenue. The company also said that its online sales grew 43% during the all-important holiday quarter. 43% increase during the holiday quarter for online sales because they're selling $6 in their cart.
Yeah, that's right.
In the store.
Yeah, $5.44 at the store.
Walmart stocks a clear winner over arch rival Amazon in the past 6 months, with shares rising 5% with Walmart versus Amazon's 14% slide.
Huh.
Well, some might see Walmart's gain as Amazon's loss and vice versa. Oppenheimer's R.E. Wald and Chinchillo Global's Gina Sanchez argue that the companies can coexist. And there's an upside for each one in the long term. You can read the rest of this, but it goes into some nitty-gritty, details here. But I told y'all probably within the last couple months, Walmart's going after Amazon,
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
of course.
I got to.
Yeah, they have to.
and I love the Walmart grocery pickup. Just
Well,
saying,
We'll see how it goes. But I mean,
I've been enjoying
are
it.
you kidding me?
But
Like,
now listen, Bruce. I had the same thing come up with me before,
yeah.
and I called them out on it, and they never did get back with me.
Well, of course not. Well, crap, he's figured out our plan. I really do. I want to call them up and be like, okay, please take out your app with me. Let's walk through this. I'm going to show you how stupid this is. But so it was like today, what I was saying about Target. I took a screenshot when I was miles down the road to make sure that, because they've gotten some heat in the past about showing your price online, and then when you get in,
Yeah, right.
the price
Right,
changes.
right.
So I wanted some Tupperware. They had some similar to that I had bought off of Amazon. It's big 60-something quart containers with block lids. So I thought, well, I'll go into Target and get them, but I'm going to take a screenshot because this is how much it shows. They were about probably $1 cheaper per item than it was on Amazon. Well, I go in, they have one. One on the shelf. It's broke, doesn't have the lock lids, and there's no lid to go with it.
Yeah.
So it's probably not going to get restocked because it still shows they have one. And it was a little bit smaller than the ones I ordered off Amazon. So I figured, well, there's the $1 difference.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and ordered it off Amazon. They'll be here tomorrow. I didn't pay anything for shipping, and they had it in stock. That's the reason why Amazon's killing. That's it. It's they had it in stock.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Now I know I'm not going to buy Uno cards from Amazon.
Well, you know, I mean,
but to be honest, you know, seeing that online, if I didn't go further and find, well, this is what it is at my local store and saw, you know, $7 on Walmart that didn't have free shipping versus Amazon where I've got free shipping, I would pay the $3.
yeah, that picture was taken at Jacksonville Walmart.
Yeah.
Just that's what I figured.
Well, yeah, and I mean the price on the app.
Right, showed that originally.
Before you click on it.
So I guess we need to find out if that price in the store is still legit. They may have
No, it shows it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Just
But if you order it online, it's more, technically.
even to pick up in store.
That makes no sense. Because it's coming from the stores.
I'm going to
inventory.
pick it up.
Well, hey.
Order in
What
store.
they're doing is they're trying to pay for the service. You picking it up, you're paying for convenience.
Oh,
If I go in there and get it, I've got to check out.
Well, they just go to the front of the store, pick it up, and you leave.
I guess.
'Cause they got this little thing at the store down here,
Yeah.
this little tower thing. You see
Yeah.
I
there?
got the same one in Gadsden.
Yeah.
Well, when we come back, Bruce will tell something else that is full of bull butter.
Blue and red.
And rumors probably. We got a lot of rumors.
Oh, we do, and that rumors will be coming up next, right after this break. Speaking of that, I've got to read up on
I
these
caught
rumors.
I caught them in that the other week,
Yeah.
and I did a Twitter direct message, and they never did answer me. I just sent them that.
What was it?
I don't know what it was. Some sort of detergent.
This is an Alabama legacy moment.
It was Purex detergent. Because what I'll do is I'll get $35 worth of Walmart.com stuff and ship to the house for free. And I can go through my SkyMiles shopping site through my Amex, and I get additional miles by being referred from them to Walmart.
I saw this.
And I use my credit card to
Yeah,
get more SkyMiles.
so it was cheaper.
Cheaper if I went to the store and bought it. It was like $1 or so more on here if I did pick up today at the store, but to show the store price being lower. You're picking up at the same store.
Well, you're supposed to be in savings catcher, and they're going to give you that back. So you're doing a good job.
That's bull.
Well, it's just like when they started that savings catcher, and I was like, "This is cheaper
Where's my
online."
rumors?
It was cheaper.
They're down there.
It was cheaper if
They're
I
way on
ordered
down
it
there.
online for pickup versus going in the store.
Rumors are down there. I just clicked on something.
Oh.
Yeah, they're down there.
It's
Oh,
frustrating.
Oh, it's not boulder.
I don't know what happened.
I don't want to be a consumer anymore.
Okay, you don't have to.
Which is more for me.
I don't think I have much.
Just grow your own stuff at home.
I still gotta buy stuff somewhere.
Nah, just stink.
Yeah.
Don't buy deodorant.
Still gotta pay for my house.
Make your own at home.
Just be a squatter.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rumors. We must be quick on some of these.
Well, you can. You can. I don't have any. I'm just gonna bounce off yours.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta get it pulled up.
Well, one of these this one has an update. Apple has confirmed to TechCrunch that it will be closing stores in the future, as well as the fact that the company will
It's
be
not really a
offering.
rumor.
I know, huh?
Well,
That's fine.
We're closing up a room.
I mean, some of these are yours.
Man, I hadn't put anything. I don't know where they're coming from. I haven't put anything in there. I promise. I haven't put any rumors this time. Just do what. Do whichever ones you want to. We don't have to do all of them.
We're gonna go through.
Okay.
Jeez.
Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show. And ready, set, go.
Oh,
Rivers.
hang on, I'm
Oh,
working,
he's not.
I'm working on it. I have to,
He does. He's doing a fabulous
I
job.
have to bring that down.
I
Stop
know
it.
how it works here. Super job.
I'm doing the best I can here. Sorry. I think I need a double in my salary. I can deal with it better.
Okay. All right. Double zero.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that.
Double zero.
This second parents I got.
I'll tell you what I'll do. What
you gonna do?
I'll give you the double compliments. Double compliments.
Oh, double compliments.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I've got double the rumors. So,
Yes, you do.
so we're gonna go through these probably a little bit quicker than normal because we've got so many, and we'll be here for the next 30 minutes talking about them.
Nah, let's not do that.
So first one here, Apple to announce TV service at March 25th event, but launch is months away. So we've been talking about this rumor of this television streaming service for
Yes,
months.
forever.
Probably longer than that. But according to sources that spoke to Variety, Apple will announce this service in March, but it may not be available to consumers until the summer or as late as fall. So sources familiar with the plans, it's always familiar with the plans, but familiar with the matter. You ever notice that? Anyway,
Yes.
sources familiar with the plans say Apple's video service will be targeted for a launch in summer or fall, rather than the April timing that has been the subject of media speculation. Apple has vowed to its high-caliber producing partners to mount marketing blitzes on behalf of the shows in addition to the service itself. But Apple hasn't announced its March 25th event yet, but multiple rumors from well-respected sites have indicated that's the date when the event will be held. The March 25th event will be focused on services, and Apple is not expected to debut new hardware, even though there are multiple rumors of products getting a spring refresh.
When is WWDC?
It's in June.
Yeah. That's what
They could potentially, we could see the announcement of devices such as AirPower, iPad Mini 5, and new AirPods, the 7th generation iPad, 7th generation iPod Touch, announced via press release. These are all minor updates.
Air power. Does anybody, have they released that?
No.
No, I don't think so. No, they've
They've been
been
talking
forever.
about it. Yeah, forever.
Seems like. Yeah.
Speaking of that, AirPods 2 with grip coating and air power set to launch this spring. This is kind of bouncing off the last one. Thing that caught me was there's a let's see what site is this? My Smart Price, some rumor site, said one of its trusted sources claims that the AirPods 2 tipped for release this year will offer better bass response thanks to improved internals. And both the earbuds and the case will include a special matte coating to enhance grip, similar to a coating used on the glass back of the Google Pixel 3 phone.
Oh.
It's got like a concept photo, like of
No, I don't have
the AirPods in a black case.
Yeah.
They're black
Yeah.
AirPods.
I don't
so-
have the Pixel 3, but I do have the Pixel 2. I like it.
But the site also believes that the new AirPod 2 will be available in black and white colors.
Of
It costs
course.
around $200. A
Mhm.
$40 increase in the current price.
Sure.
Although whether the detail comes from the same source or just speculation is unclear. So everybody run out, I need my black AirPods. Now,
Right,
replace
because-
the one that I bought last
Right,
year.
because they're new.
That's right, they're a new thing.
Yeah.
I gotta have
They're
the new-
$40 better.
That's right. So
Minimum.
Apple buys Data Tiger, a UK digital marketing startup.
Oh, that's Bruce's favorite kind.
What, startups or Data Tiger?
No, marketing.
Marketing.
Anything marketing startup, Bruce is all.
Apple recently purchased Data Tiger, a UK startup focused on digital marketing, reports Bloomberg.
They have to get rid of the data.
The acquisition
exactly.
says the acquisition, according to Bloomberg, could improve Apple's digital marketing and make it more relevant to customers. So that could be tied to this Apple TV just trying to sell more $1,000 iPhones. You never know.
Sure.
This was in the rumor pile, but I think we'll come back to it. We'll skip it. We'll do it at the end. So 16-inch MacBook Pro with all new design expected in 2019. And the 13-inch model may gain 32 gigs of RAM. So a 16-inch MacBook Pro. they've done a 15, but
Why would they do this?
well, probably they can make, the new ones have a thinner
I know it's
bezel, so
smaller
it can be in the
bezel, but then
same.
that's another line. I mean, really, you're adding. So quickly, you're going to have the 15, the 16, and the 13.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a 17-inch anymore. Remember, they used to have 13, 15, 17.
I know.
It's been the new 17, the new 17, 16. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see.
So there's, then the rumor of a 32 gig option for the 13-inch MacBook Pro that probably costs $400 for the damn RAM. Anyway.
Or more.
Or more, yes. Because Apple's very proud of their pricing.
Yes, because I mean they're special RAM,
That's right. Special.
unlike other RAM.
It's Apple RAM.
Yeah. Oh, you froze. You froze up.
Well, this tab won't open. Oh, there it is. Finally. Okay.
What?
Apple. Okay, this is something we've been talking about for months too. When are we getting rid of the trash can Mac Pro? Apple mulling preview of new modular Mac Pro at WWDC.
Yeah, that's been coming a long time.
Yeah, I mean, this is a rehash of it, but they think that's when it's going to come to WWDC. The modular workstation is expected to ship alongside an upcoming Apple-branded Pro display, with rumors suggesting it'll be 31.6 inches with a 6K resolution. But according to executives back to the Mac Pro, Craig Federighi and Phil Schiller, Apple is committed to making the Mac Pro the highest-end desktop system able to accommodate VR and high-end cinema production.
Well, there you go.
And you got to think about this: the Mac Mini that they released back in the fall is pretty high-end. I mean, but it's not to the caliber of like professional, like a power user,
Right.
like those Core i7s and all that. That'd be great for a power user like
Right.
myself. But like, I have no business with a Mac. Right now, don't get me wrong, I like to have one, but I'm not going to pay that kind of money. But you got people that are doing some serious like stuff that churns on a CPU or a
Right.
GPU. Yeah. So I mean, and that's a good audience, the WWDC.
Oh, sure.
I think that's probably gonna happen.
Programmers love overpriced CPUs.
And to be fair and balanced, we got some non-Apple.
Really, which ones?
Microsoft starts testing a version of Windows 10. It won't release until 2020.
It already made the last version ever.
Well, this is not. So they started testing an update to Windows 10 that it plans to release in 2020. It's unusual for the company to test updates far in advance, according to The Verge.
They lied.
Microsoft has not yet started testing its next 2019 update, but apparently they've already, according to Microsoft Windows Insider Chief Donna Sarkar, I can't pronounce that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, my apologies. Maybe Donna, D-O-N-A, Donna.
Sure.
I'm sorry. Anyway,
Donut sugar.
according to the Microsoft Windows Insider Chief, they say additional testing is required for this new 2020 update. Do the first half of 2020, codenamed 20H1, and the person said, quote, some things we are working on for 20H1 require longer lead time.
No. Okay. I get code names, and I'll let you go and move on to things. But let me just real quickly. What is the point of a code name if you're going to call it Windows 10?
It's just like Office 365. I mean, it's the last
I
version of
know.
Office ever, but they keep on updating it, whether you like it or not.
I mean, I understand the point of a code name. Don't on OS. Don't get started.
Let's start having code names for every show. How about that?
Yeah, I can keep up with that. I mean, I would already run out after 2 or 3 shows.
Okay. So
All right, so Google's planning a cheaper smartphone to
Yes,
rival
the iPhone 10R.
10R.
So, which the 10R is not that cheap anyway. But Google's planning to unveil a cheaper smartphone as part of its aggressive effort to draw more users into the Google ecosystem, like Bruce, and to better compete with Apple, according to a recent report. So Google said to be planning to exploit Apple's current pricing issues. Apple suffered poor iPhone sales. We already know that. Google's upcoming smartphone will be priced similarly to the iPhone 10R, which costs $749. Google's targeting customers who are looking for a more affordable smartphone option and customers in emerging markets where higher priced smartphones do not sell well. So there you go. There's the last rumor. This one was rumored, but it's really true. So I want to talk about it real quick here. So Apple was reportedly, but now confirmed, to close 2 of their stores in Texas. You're like, what? Why is Apple closing stores? Well, apparently these stores physically are located within the Eastern District of Texas, and they're getting those stores out of that territory because of to avoid patent troll lawsuits.
Oh.
So as MacRumors notes, the Eastern District of Texas is known for its patent cases.
Yep.
And as per U.S. law, patent lawsuits can be filed in places where the defendant, quote, has a regular and established place of business, end quote. By closing the 2 stores in the district, Apple reportedly hopes to shield itself from those suits, at least from that district. Apple's Willow Bend store in Plano and Apple's Stonebriar store in Frisco are the ones that are going to be closed up. According to this, at April 12th, I'm not sure what the exact date is.
Frisco.
Yeah.
That's where they play the championship.
For the FCS.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Apple's planning to open a new store in the Galleria Dallas shopping mall just outside the Eastern District border to continue to have a retail presence in the area.
Interesting.
So, I mean, it's a bold move by Apple, but like they're just,
I wouldn't say it's a bold move. I would say it's. Why did they not do it sooner?
want that money.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not that far.
No, it's really not. I mean, and by the way, in the article, there's a link
Yeah.
to a physical location.
And there's also a update with the people, there are the people that work there, but the companies will be offered the fact that the company will be offered new jobs within the company. New jobs be offered to employees that are affected by those stores closure.
Written by AI.
It probably is.
That one was by Siri.
Yeah, or Siri wrote that column.
Bixby wrote the other one earlier.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
didn't understand.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's a very quick and long rumor segment there. But anyway.
So I'm curious. Why can you not get that? Is it the XS Max?
Yes.
10S.
10S.
XS
But we
cash.
joke about it.
Do you have excess cash to buy
Yeah,
that?
excess cash.
I sure hope so.
10X Max.
You need about
The
1,200
10S
bucks.
Max, you can't purchase it on their upgrade program.
Really?
It's not all shown on their website.
Huh.
Right now they have the 10S and the 10R.
That doesn't make sense unless you're just out of the 10S
Oh,
Max.
I'm sorry. I didn't read closely. If you select the 10S, I'm sure then you can select the 10S Max
Probably.
within that.
Yes, yeah.
10S, and then it's between the two sizes.
Yes.
Yep, there you go.
$54 a
That's what
month.
it is.
That makes sense.
From $54 a month. you can
That's
upgrade
not
program.
Says the person who's
$54 a month for 2 years.
without a service.
Well, do you want
That's not the service. That's
Sure.
just the phone.
you want 64 gig? 256, 512.
I want a terabyte.
Oh, they don't have that. Sorry.
I'm gonna,
512, $68 a month, or $1,400. Wow. We talked about this before.
$14.50.
well, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget the 50. That's important.
How many gigs is this phone?
Well, I did one more rumor that I forgot.
Mine's the 128.
How about this? One more
This one's
rumor.
only 60.
Here's your bonus rumor. So here's bonus rumor.
Beat you with something.
Oh,
A bonus rumor.
bonus rumor. So Apple plans to let developers release universal apps that work across iPhone, iPad, and Mac by
What?
2021.
Really?
The SDK is coming this June. That's very distracting.
Just turn it down.
But anyway, so Apple aims to allow developers to release universal apps that work across iPhone, iPad, and Mac by 2021, according to a report today by Bloomberg. And from that actual article, from Bloomberg, the ultimate goal of the multi-step initiative, codenamed Marzipan, is by 2021 to help developers build an app once and have it work on the iPhone, iPad, and Mac computers. So people familiar with the effort. Again, people familiar with something.
Sure.
This is
They're
the
always
effort.
familiar with it.
That should spur the creation of new software, increasing utility of the company's gadgets. According to government, Apple plans to let developers port iPad apps to Mac using a new software development kit that the company will release as early as June at WWDC. Apple previewed the app's plan without disclosing the roadmap at its developers conference last year.
I mean, Apple has nothing to lose on this.
No, it's just going to help sell
I
more
mean, for
Macs.
crying out loud, do they not see this?
I just hope.
I mean,
I just think that that's not a one-size-fits-all way to develop apps. There are certain apps that will not fit that mold very well.
It's like that old. It's all like that old quote from the movie "It's a Wonderful Life." Potter's not selling; Potter's buying. I mean,
I don't.
I know you. I know you don't. But it's just the idea that Apple is. They're going to get all the. They're going to get all the glory on this one, that one. I mean,
Anyway, sorry, that was another rumor. I'll go get it in, right? We'll probably have done next week now. They're like 20 this week.
Well, that's okay. All right. Let's see. I had something else here I wanted to cover. If I can.
Well, if you don't, I've got some.
No. Here we go.
Okay.
We won't get to do this justice like I'd hoped so, but I'll get to do it a little bit. I found this article. I have had over the years many people ask me, and I'm not sure that I knew all the answers either, about SSDs and how reliable an SSD actually is, solid state drive, compared to a regular hard drive. And actually, the backblaze.com, they did an article here. It's more of a post. And they give a little bit of information about the particular differences between hard drives and solid state. And I'm not going to be able to go through all of it, but I wanted to go through this down here. So they give a few ideas here about how they come up with the actual comparisons. And they look at several things. They look at PE cycles. That's important.
Physical education?
No, PE cycles are a measurement of SSD reliability.
Okay.
These are PE cycles, like terabytes written, or mean time between failures. That's the TBW or MTBF. And the
So my PE cycle's usually first thing in the morning.
yeah, right. I knew you were going to do
Oh, that's
By the way,
that's
the-
TMI. That's Bruce at
the
Techies.
P is a P/E.
I know.
Okay. Now and the reason I bring this is just I just find some of this fascinating, and maybe you will too. But TWB or TBW, sorry, terabytes written, according to this, is the total amount of data that can be written to an SSD before it's likely to fail. So, they give an example. They're giving an example of the Samsung 860 EVO. That's a very popular SSD. It says here 150 terabytes written for a 20 gig model, 300 terabytes written for a 500 gig, 600 terabytes written for a 1 terabyte, 1,200 terabytes for a 2 terabyte, 2,400 for a 4 terabyte. Now, here's the point: that the companies usually warranty these for 5 years or the terabytes written.
Whatever comes first.
Right. Either, like
36 months or 36 hours.
correct, right. Now, the other one is the MTBF, which mean time between failures. And they say it's a measurement of how reliable a hardware product or component is over a lifetime expected lifetime. Sorry. So basically, how many of these fail within, say, 8 hours of use over, a year or 150 days or whatever it is,
Right.
And one of these scenarios,
Ideally, that mean time higher, the more reliable on average.
correct, right. So they write here, this doesn't mean that your SSD will last many hours. What it means is, given a sample set of the model of SSD, errors will occur at a certain rate. All right, so a 1.2 million hours MTBF means that the drive is used an average of 8 hours a day. A sample size of 1,000 of those would have a failure one every 150 days, or about twice a year. So, the point is, if they have a 1.2 million hour MTBF, then within 1,000 disks, you'll have 2 die in a year.
Yeah.
Given the 8 hours of use.
Okay.
So my point is, this is actually,
Just don't own the two that fail.
and that's not all of it. It's pretty long. It's a good article, and we'll put it in the show notes. Right, don't own the two that fail. But it's actually well done, I think. It's very, it's long, and it's
Right.
very in depth.
Yeah.
And I think if you're very interested in that, the one thing to note about an SSD is it's totally no moving parts. It's basically RAM. It's written to back and forth, and it's used electrodes.
It's not really. It's not really.
Well, yeah, it's glorified RAM.
Yeah, that'll persist without power applied.
I'll say the two that I've had for 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
It's still running good.
Still
And
running
they
fine.
quit working
And
at
I
night.
I almost never turn my computer off.
Wow. Pretty
And
good.
you know Windows is running.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Windows is constantly writing that thing.
Mike Paris just tweeted that MTBF always gets me. I said, yeah, Mike, back
Yeah.
at you, buddy. But seriously though, I know I'm boring people. That's fine. This is not like calling baseball. I can assure you that, which I would be no good at, by the way. But anyway,
you have the color.
nah, I don't know what color I could color. Maybe give me some crayons. I might get color.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, seriously though, if you're really considering a SSD, there is a limit to it. Now,
It won't last forever.
might you get to that limit? Possibly.
Bruce might get his tonight at 8 years. Now he said it's going to it'll fail when he gets home.
Well, but it's a lot more rights than one can understand.
Oh yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
it's we're talking a lot of rights and readings. But it's the rewriting. It's the writing over data that eventually, or that spot, eventually gets it.
And most of these modern SSDs, they kind of, make it. It doesn't write on the same spot constantly. It kind of goes across I say disk, but across the area it has to store.
Yeah.
So it's not constantly just pounding one little place on your
No,
SSD.
but it does go back over that.
Oh yeah, of
Eventually.
course.
He says it better last forever. Thanks, Mike, for listening, man. I am.
thanks, Mike.
I don't know.
Speechless.
I am speechless. Yeah. Hey, Techies Show. We'll be right back.
HeyTechiesShow.com. Open 24/7, as long as we don't forget to pay the bill.
Oh, throw this in the trash can.
Hey, you're gonna pick all that up. I'm picking your joke up.
Let's just lay it there.
No offense.
In fact, I'm gonna throw it away now. Because I need to stand up.
Oh, that's right. The PE cycle programmed and erased. That's what that's.
Where'd the other thing go that I threw? Oh, there it is.
Right there. There's something over there too.
That's not me.
I know.
Oh! I'm gonna hit my head.
The skills you can develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you an edge in the high-tech job market of tomorrow. The Guard offers career training to take advantage of your skills in science, technology, engineering, and math that can help give you a leg up to a high-paying and rewarding STEM career. Get a head start on your career while earning money to pay for college. Log on to nationalguard.com to learn about all of the STEM
How much
career
longer we got?
opportunities in the Army
We've got
National
just a
Guard.
few minutes because the next show is up.
Broadcasters Association at this station.
Ruby Pickens Tart was one of the foremost chroniclers of folklore, folk music, and narratives of African Americans in Alabama. She helped to fill the manuscript and music collections of the Library of Congress and the Federal Writers Project. Ruby Pickens Tart continues to affect the world of folk music and culture as her notes are rediscovered by a new generation of scholars and musicians. She was inducted into the Alabama Women's Hall of Fame in 1980.
Sponsored by the Alabama Bicentennial Commission, the ABA, at this station.
You're listening to the Hey Techies Show on WLJS Jacksonville.
We gotta get Bruce back home.
Okay?
Gotta get Bruce back home.
Did you drive this week?
No, it's Ted's week.
Oh.
I slept a little bit on the way home. I slept a little bit on the way home today. I did.
Ted drives.
Yeah, he was drunk. And I was like, wait a minute when we get to Target. And as we were getting off the ramp to go to Oxford, set up and I was like, we're here. He didn't even have to wake me up. Like my body just knew.
Well,
Target,
You
huh?
don't meet him down there. I mean, 'cause he still lives up here in town.
Yeah, he comes by my house.
All right, let's go. Welcome back into the Hey Techie Show.
I thought we had a special guest in the studio.
We do.
Jordy LaForge.
Jordy LaForge, yes. Yes.
The VR headset.
Did you guys know, headline, Netflix just bought one of the biggest movies in the world.
Oh, really?
Yes. Do you know the
Jurassic Park.
no, believe it or not.
Star Wars.
It's called Wandering Earth.
Oh, is that the one? That's the documentary?
Okay, I don't know whether it's a documentary or not, but I don't think it's a documentary. According to this story, one of the biggest movies in the world right now has already surpassed $500 million at the box office in China.
Wow. $500 million with a B.
Now get this though. This is what's funny.
Budget was $50 million.
The movie.
Very good.
Now
Very good
listen,
return on investment there.
listen. The movie is a sci-fi epic that tells the story of people trying to save Earth from being destroyed by the sun.
Okay.
Now what's
Don't get the sun on your bad side, you know.
now what's funny about this, to me, is that apparently the idea of the movie is that like the people of Earth build like 10 million rockets, 10,000 stellar engines. I'm sorry, 10,000. I'm sorry. A team of heroes builds 10,000 stellar engines to propel the Earth out of the solar system in the hope of finding. I'm sorry, I can't.
This is so far fetched.
Finding a new home in space, kickstarting a 2,500-year-long journey in which humanity fights for the survival of the wandering Earth. Look, if you like it, I think it's hilarious.
We got some of those Federation warp drives, you know. Take them on.
So it's not even, I mean, it's so hokey. That's not.
It's sci-fi.
Oh,
What
it's
is
beyond that. It's beyond that. I mean, some sci-fi is kind of halfway believable. But that is just. Do you know, it says here that it included more than 10,000 specially built props, employed some 2,000 special effects shots. This thing took 2 years to shoot.
And they only spent $50 million and got back. You said $50 million, Bruce?
Yeah.
We got, what, $500 billion?
$500 million.
More than it's
Or
right
half a
now.
billion?
Half a
$500
billion.
million.
Now, right now, it's more than 600 million in China.
Yeah. Just in China. Now, see, okay,
Pretty
so.
good investment.
So
Yeah, just
apparently Netflix, according to what I'm reading, Netflix has bought it. So I
How
assume
much they pay for
it's
it?
coming to Netflix. I don't see that in here. I don't think I see that. I don't think that's in here.
When it will be available.
Or how much they paid for it.
Yeah, we
No.
talked about it. Everybody will watch it when it goes on Netflix.
Oh, right, sure.
Netflix, like, that's goodbye. Good job on that.
Yeah. I'm sure Mike
We got all-
Paris.
we got all these new subscribers. just
I'm
for
sure
this.
Mike Paris is putting that right away on his listening, watching Netflix
Oh, yeah,
list.
absolutely. I've
Watching
got it on mine already.
Sure.
It's on there.
I'm sure you do.
While you were talking, I put it in.
And here's this. Did you guys know that it's cool to spool again? That's the headline.
Cool to spool.
Yes. Did you know there's a group of people that, and this is not new, I didn't realize this, but they have brought back the 80s cassette tape. 80s and 90s cassette tape.
Really?
Yes. The nostalgia is back. And that there are people, especially in the UK, do you know that there are more than 50,000 cassette albums bought in the UK?
Really? That's pretty cool.
It's up 125% in 2018.
What was it?
Sales.
So we went from record players
Yes.
being a thing. I guess they skipped the reel to reel.
Yeah, 8 tracks.
And 8 tracks.
You
So
cassettes.
I guess now they're going to go to
CD.
CDs next, and then going back to pirating.
Yeah, seriously, I mean, I didn't realize, I didn't know cassettes was still a thing. but apparently in some places, and by the way, a couple of these, they mentioned a couple of these individuals, musicians, who have released their EP on cassette.
But this is new music.
Yes, brand new music on cassette.
Where you gonna find a cassette player?
Well, that's a good question too. Now,
I wonder if Walmart sells them. How much would it be compared to no?
yeah, Paris says I've got some 8-track tapes that I'll sell them. Yeah, I'll bet you do. Yeah, Barry Manilow is not one they're looking for. Paris, on 8-track cassette.
You can set there's a Digit now cassette player.
Yeah, oh yeah, you can still get cassette players.
$17.99.
But can you get them in your car? And actually, I've seen some still in older cars.
Maybe they got one that's Bluetooth.
Yeah, a Bluetooth cassette player.
USB or your aux jack.
I've got to find that.
Oh, good grief.
Oh man.
Bluetooth cassette player.
You know, vinyl's been big for many years, actually. And it's
still,
made a comeback.
Is it still a thing?
Yeah. Who? What?
Vinyl.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There's stores devoted to selling vinyl. And actually, vinyl's very expensive. You can, I mean.
Because it's supply, it's like a supply and demand.
Yeah. But now, some people are not crazy about the idea. Some people think that this is just a bunch of nothing.
They've got the. You remember they used to have the the tapes you would put in so you could.
CD.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You play that. Yeah.
They've got those with a Bluetooth.
That's so crazy.
So it's a Bluetooth adapter for tape decks.
Well, seriously. Well, look, we've enjoyed it. Our time has come to a close. The Hey Techie Show must close out another night, but there'll be a show to follow. We hope you have a fabulous week. Hey Techie Show.
I was hoping they would have a cassette player that, the Bluetooth.
It's gonna be great, maybe.